CueCam 3.3 is now here. It now gives frame perfect, color perfect results. Screen shares have the right colors, videos don't glitch out when they start, and things like camera transitions are tightly locked to slide transitions. Even better, when we do find bugs, they're much easier to think about and fix. So here's a little side by side. I just thought I'd start showing you straight away some of the differences. It's really subtle stuff. So here you see when this transition happens, this is the old one on this side. And you see there's like a little bit of a sort of remnant of something from, you see it's sort of like showing the text, but it's sort of faded the background out already. Whereas if you look on the right, you see it just goes frame, just straight in, and we're all good. We're not showing two things at once. You also see that the camera LUT is less extreme, like there's now a slider for the camera LUT. So this one, you sort of get the whole thing. This one, the colors are more accurate, and you can control how much is applied. Now, if you see here, look at the face cam transition first. So if we come down here, we're sort of like sharing an image. Let's see, you see it's got this, this moves here. So we're kind of like looking at, I need to make my, seconds per, yes, there we go. So I've just typed, so you see that's a bit weird. Whereas if you look on the right, I'm just kind of straight away, I'm down here, and that's all good. There's also, you see when the images change, you might notice there's some flickers on the left. So on here, you'll see like a black frame kind of happening. There's just these little flickers that are no good. And then if you also look here, look at the color fringing on my hair there. Look how it's sort of like got this weird, oops, the zooming is, I'm using a beta version of Video Pencil, but you see the color fringing is a bit like weird over here, whereas if we kind of look over here, it's a lot more natural looking, isn't it? Then we've got, what's next? So there's a transition into and out of the video. So you see when we come out of this video, watch this, like there's, on the left, there's just like that black frame. It just kind of goes black, whereas on the right, it just kind of comes straight in. And you see when the lower third disappears here. So look, you see there's like here, there's a little glitch going on down there when that was disappearing. But now it's all like completely stable and solid. And then we've got this like mismatched camera transition when we come out of the globe. So you see the camera transition sort of like, see here, like we're kind of getting covered up initially because basically the timing of this slide isn't really synced to the thing. Whereas on the right, you see it just immediately. Over here, you see, just watch the camera just comes up and just smoothly comes in. So that's obviously like a nice difference. And then if we go to the next thing, you see just how flickery, look on the left, like how flickery these transitions are. If you just look here, like it's sort of like dropping a frame, it's coming in, it's kind of black, it's not black. So you see there's transitions where those transitions are a lot slicker. And that's just a few of the issues I fixed with the new rendering pipeline. And while I was doing this, I also decided to address some problems with the onboarding process. CueCam is telling me I'm a bit loud, but I'm going to assume that, you know, we're at sort of, yeah, let's just come down a little bit. I've done a new onboarding process as well. So this is what that looks like. So you see, as we click through it, you get this nice full screen experience. Progress is up there. And if we just sort of play through that, so you just don't get a bare checklist, you get some nice immersive stuff. It lets you kind of, I'm also asking for analytics permissions, but now we can, it asks for network at the right time, it scans for Video Pencil, like some stuff that I think is a lot of fun. Once it's connected, it says try drawing something, you draw something, it detects that you drew something and says nice, goes on to shoot. Now like grab your phone and you can get shoot. Let me put myself on my nice virtual green screen. So you see there, I sort of did, it gives you a chance to kind of play with the camera settings straight away there. So that's kind of fun. And then also it's going to talk about microphone access. We're going to do that. It gives you a little demo of what the LUTs metering is supposed to be, so a comparison between that, like at a glance thing. And then next it sort of guides you through the camera extension nicely. And then the cool thing about this is there's no restarts or reboots. As soon as you check that camera extension, if you look in the background, it's so that's installed, and then immediately, you know, we're on to the next step of the onboarding. And then the same with the virtual mic. Install and restart core audio. So it's just going to fully just like restart your audio system so that it can then just say ready and you can jump straight into using the app. And the only thing that it doesn't ask for now is screen sharing permissions, which it just waits until you first share your screen, which I think is nice because I thought this would be a better way of doing it, and then I heard from someone that like that had kind of like made them sort of crash out of the onboarding just because they were like, why do they need screen sharing? And I'm like, I think that's fair enough. I think you can kind of like do that once you're ready. I've got a few other tweaks here and there, like the new camera controls. I've added brightness, contrast, saturation, a LUT amount slider, as I say. There's a background blur effect. I'm going to so you can actually you can edit your camera, which I think I won't show you the UI, but I will show you if you had like a background loop and just drag that in. Now you can have like a animated video background behind you, virtual background. So, and you can even like sort of control the blur on that as well, just dynamically from within CueCam. Or you could remove that and just actually blur your background as well in CueCam directly. So it's just like been really easy to just throw in a couple of new things like that just would have been a nightmare before, but now it's actually pretty, there's like 5 lines of code and I'm done. So this is sort of, this is the point of it. Finally, someone told me they had no idea what picture-in-picture meant. So after some failed suggestions from AI, I said, like, give me something shorter that means picture-in-picture, and it was like overlay, mini camera, pip, pop-out camera, but I actually settled on face cam. I think that's much clearer because it's your face camera. So that's what it's called instead of picture-in-picture now. Now, these are all changes on the normal version of CueCam, so I can get to work on the new CueCam 4.0. But I was just going to show you this animation. This is all the work I did since last June. So basically 9 months of work. So this is all the new framework code that I created, real-time Swift. And then if you see over here, this is sort of changes to the main app to kind of accommodate the new way of doing it. So I'm making all this reusable code over here, and then I'm tweaking CueCam's code base over here. So you see, we're only in July. Real-time audio modules, LUTs metering, like the previews, we've got the color stuff, all the slides have been completely rebuilt. The documents, a lot of stuff frameworks I extracted out, like the CueCam doc, the CueCam renderer, the onboarding is a separate thing, macros for doing things in Xcode, the networking is all standardized. Basically, it's made so that everything works the same way, regardless of whether it's an image or a camera or a siphon feed, so that I can just like apply effects in the same way to anything. I can use a background video in the same way as an image. That was impossible before. But you see, like, we're up to September. This is me, by the way, this little guy here. I'll speed it up a bit. And we can sort of just see October. You see there's a sort of fun explosion there. I guess I merged some stuff. But yeah, like you see, this is all CueCam code, and then this is all reusable stuff now. So if we just kind of like play through, I'm just whizzing through it. I could even change the speed of my whizzes. Okay, so we're just fast forwarding through to January, February, and then sort of this is sort of today. I know this is a bit long, but yeah. So this is the CueCam app, and then this is all the stuff that I built that's fully reusable. So this lets me finally solve some stuff. So CueCam 4.0. Now that I've done all the kind of rendering stuff, and there will be a couple of glitches here that I'm sure we're going to find, but you'll see how much that's improved. I can start to look at the UI and solve a couple of things that have been confusing for ages, which are, first, too many windows, right? There's like the live camera window, the program, the teleprompter window, the script editor window. The script editor has always been a bit weird. I kind of came from this markdown text-first approach. I've got a lot of things I want to sort of do with this now. And then this whole editor versus presentation mode. I just think that's fundamentally a little bit confusing. Yes, that's how Keynote works, but we're not in Keynote world anymore. So I'm very excited to start publishing 4.0 betas for you to try. But yeah, another side effect of all this work is that I have a lot of libraries that can be brought into Shoot and Video Pencil. So soon you're going to see stuff like opening CueCam docs on Video Pencil, editing them, having another app that's just a script editor, Shoot being able to connect to Video Pencil, like all this stuff. And then just some other apps that can just do one thing. So I'm so excited for, like, I had my head down for 9 months, working really hard on this just to try and get it to be something that is ready. So if you want to try it out, CueCam.apps download. So it's now available at CueCam.app/download. That's available now. And thank you for watching. And by the way, I have put in, let's side. So I have put in if you do have some serious bug, because I have completely, there's like 7,000 lines of code added, 7,000 lines of code removed. If you do have any issues, I am putting a link in the release notes to a downgrade thing. So if you really just, you've got a thing today, you just downloaded it by accident, just like you can downgrade to the previous one. So there will be a link to do that in the thing. But hopefully you won't have to, and hopefully you're just going to be enjoying all this new fit and finish in CueCam 3.3. Thank you for your patience, and I'll speak to you soon, I'm sure.